Blackpink has increasingly become a central subject in a new wave of digital fan culture that reshapes how global pop stars are visually presented and culturally interpreted. In recent years, a distinct aesthetic trend known as the global icon frame has emerged across social media platforms, fan editing communities, and short-form video spaces. This trend does not treat the group as traditional music idols alone but reframes them through the visual language of high fashion, Hollywood celebrity culture, and cinematic storytelling. Instead of focusing only on stage performances or music videos, fans construct highly stylized edits that place them in imagined red carpet moments, luxury fashion campaigns, runway appearances, and film trailer-style narratives. This transformation is not random. It reflects a broader shift in how global audiences consume pop culture. The boundaries between entertainment industries have become increasingly fluid, and fan communities now actively participate in shaping the visual identity of artists. In the case of Blackpink, their already strong association with luxury brands, international fashion houses, and high-production performances has made them especially suited for this kind of reinterpretation. Fans amplify these traits, editing footage and images to align with cinematic aesthetics that resemble Hollywood premieres or global fashion weeks rather than conventional K-pop presentations. The global icon frame trend is defined by its emphasis on prestige, scale, and narrative elevation. In these edits, members are often shown walking imagined red carpets surrounded by flashing cameras, stepping out of luxury cars, or appearing in slow-motion runway sequences set to orchestral or cinematic soundtracks. Even simple performance clips are restructured with color grading, film grain, and dramatic lighting effects to create a sense of exclusivity and high-end branding. The intention is not to change the identity of the artists but to elevate their existing public persona into something closer to global cultural icons who exist beyond a single industry. A key element of this trend is the blending of reality and fan-created fiction. While Blackpink's real-world appearances already include international award shows, fashion events, and global tours, fan edits often extend these moments into imagined scenarios. For example, a short clip from a concert might be re-edited to look like a scene from a fashion film directed by a major Hollywood studio. The members are portrayed as if they are characters in a larger cinematic universe, where every appearance is part of a carefully constructed narrative of fame, elegance, and influence. This approach reflects how digital fandoms are no longer passive observers but active cultural producers. The rise of this aesthetic is also closely connected to the evolution of short-form video platforms and advanced editing tools. Apps that allow cinematic filters, motion tracking, and AI-enhanced video manipulation have made it easier for fans to produce professional-looking content without formal training. As a result, fan edits now rival promotional material in visual quality. This has created a feedback loop where official content often inspires fan reinterpretations, and fan aesthetics, in turn, influence how audiences perceive the original material. Another important dimension of the global icon frame is its relationship with luxury branding. Blackpink members are frequently associated with major fashion houses and global campaigns, and fan edits intensify this association by placing them in hyper-stylized luxury environments. In these videos and images, they are not simply ambassadors of brands but symbolic figures of global luxury culture itself. They are depicted as occupying a space where fashion, fame, and cinematic glamour merge into a unified identity. This reinforces their positioning as international figures who transcend regional pop music boundaries. The Hollywood influence within this trend is particularly significant. Fan creators often draw inspiration from film trailers, award show aesthetics, and celebrity paparazzi culture. They replicate techniques such as dramatic zoom-ins, slow-motion entrances, spotlight framing, and suspenseful audio builds. The result is a transformation of everyday performance footage into something that resembles a movie teaser or a documentary about global stardom. This cinematic framing reshapes how audiences emotionally engage with the content, creating a sense of anticipation and grandeur even when the original footage is ordinary. At the same time, this trend highlights the changing nature of celebrity identity in the digital age. Traditional media once controlled how stars were presented to the public through official interviews, music videos, and press coverage. Now, fan communities have the ability to construct parallel identities that circulate widely and often reach millions of viewers. These interpretations can become so influential that they affect how new audiences perceive the artists before even engaging with their official work. In this sense, the global icon frame is not just an aesthetic movement but also a form of cultural reinterpretation. The emotional appeal of these edits lies in their ability to create aspirational imagery. Viewers are presented with a version of Blackpink that embodies success, elegance, and global recognition at an almost mythic level. The members are framed not just as performers but as symbols of achievement in a globalized entertainment system. This aspirational quality resonates strongly with audiences who are already familiar with fashion media, celebrity culture, and cinematic storytelling. It merges these influences into a single visual experience that feels both familiar and elevated. Another aspect worth noting is how the trend reinforces global interconnectedness in pop culture. The fanbase that produces and consumes these edits is spread across different countries and languages, yet they share a common visual vocabulary. Hollywood aesthetics, luxury branding, and cinematic editing styles serve as universal references that transcend linguistic barriers. This allows Blackpink's image to function as a global cultural interface, where diverse audiences can participate in shaping and interpreting their identity through shared visual codes. Despite its glamorous appearance, the global icon frame also raises interesting questions about authenticity and constructed identity. The heavily edited nature of these visuals means that the boundary between real-life representation and artistic reinterpretation becomes increasingly blurred. While this does not diminish the artist's real achievements, it does highlight how digital culture often prioritizes aesthetic intensity over factual representation. The result is a layered image of celebrity where multiple versions of the same figure coexist simultaneously: the real performer, the official promotional version, and the fan-created cinematic icon. Over time, this layered representation can influence how the public at large perceives Blackpink. New fans encountering these edits may form expectations based on cinematic portrayals before seeing actual performance footage. This creates a dynamic where perception precedes reality, and digital interpretation becomes an integral part of celebrity identity. In this sense, the global icon frame is not merely a stylistic trend but a structural feature of modern fandom culture. The sustainability of this trend also suggests that it is part of a broader evolution in entertainment consumption. As audiences become more visually literate and editing tools more accessible, the line between consumer and creator continues to blur. Fans are no longer just reacting to content, they are actively reconstructing it into new cultural artifacts. Blackpink, as one of the most globally recognized girl groups, naturally becomes a central subject in this process due to their strong visual branding and international presence.